Years, July 7, often referred to as Saba-Saba Day, has been remembered as a significant date in Kenya's second liberation and as a reminder to all Kenyans of the fight the nation faced for democracy and responsible administration. Fast forward to 2024, the anti-finance bill protest, believed to be organized by the young generation Z, has echoed the spirit of the earlier protest by representing the country a turning point and sharing a similar push, holding government officials accountable and, above all, making effective changes to governance of the country. Mike Kagwongo with that report.
July 7th is referred to as Saba-Saba Day in Kenya. So what gives this day its name, you may ask? Well, it commemorates the anniversary of a significant pro-democracy protest that took place on July 7, 1990, when Kenyans took to the streets and demanded that Section 2A of the previous constitution be repealed to allow for multi-party democracy. This massive protest was a response to the misery that Kenyans had endured in the years of living under the one-party state led by the KANU party and the tyranny of the then president for life, Daniel Arap Moi. Political analyst and historian Macharia Munene recounts how, in a press conference, young politicians dubbed Young Turks, with the backing of more seasoned politicians, called for a massive rally that was scheduled to take place at the Kamukunji grounds on July 7, 1990.
Matiba and Rubia were law-abiding, so they asked for permission, and they were denied. So they called off the rally because they didn't have permission. But on the 4th of July, they were locked up in the hope that people will not, with their leaders out of the way, there will be no such a thing.
Few days prior to Saba-Saba, Charles Rubia, Raila Odinga and Kenneth Matiba were all taken into custody. However, they did not prevent the rally from taking place.
But on the Saturday, the 7th, people showed up at Kamukunji in big numbers. And there were confrontations between the police and the people for 3 days, showing that people did not care. They had lost fear. And the initiative moved away from Moi to now the people. It is that shift from Moi to the people that then allowed later for the formation of Ford.
Gitabu Imanyara, Gibson Kamau, Paul Mwite, Kiraitu Murongi, Njeru Gadhangu and Muhisa Kitoi were among the other active participants in the cause. The Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, Mother Karua, Abida Ali Aroni, Nancy Baraza, John Haminwa and the current Chief Justice Mother Kome were among the other lawyers who stood tall and refused to back down in the face of injustice.
Haminwa retire. I tell them, look,
John Haminwa recounts how he was abducted, detained, tortured and taken deep into Karura Forest.
John Haminwa, he went defending the accused in the 1980s, those people who are accused of belonging to Kenya, the critics of the government. He was one of the leading champions in defense of the rights of people.
I was taken to the cell on the ground floor. I found that they had poured water in the cell. I could not sit. There was no place where I could sit or stand or get support. They removed all my clothes. I remained as naked as I was when I came out of my mother's womb. I sat in this room up to about 11 o'clock. And at night, I think it was after midnight, they now took me, gave me clothes to dress up, and we were being driven towards the community prison. When we came to Karua Forest, they ordered me out of the car. They stopped the car. They ordered me out of the car, and it was pitch dark. So we went into the forest.
Beginning at the Kamukunji grounds on July 7, 1990, there were massive demonstrations that spread to Thika, Kiambu, Nakuru and Nyeri. Wananchi and the police clashed in deadly running battles which claimed the lives of 21 individuals, with over 1,000 injured. The aftermath of the Saba-Saba riots served as a catalyst for what's known as the Second Liberation in the 90s, which established multi-party democracy in Kenya.
Through pressure and rallies, to Moi agreeing to have Section 2 repealed, and the elections of 1992, which he managed to win somehow.
Some people wanted to change. They wanted to see change in the country. But there were others, of course, who were in authority, who were benefiting from the establishment, who did not want any change at all. But there were some people who wanted to change, particularly the professionals. They wanted to change again.
Na jambo hilo likawa ni jambo la maana sana la kuleta vyama vingi katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, kwa sababu ilikuja 1993 baada ya 1992 baada ya Saba-Saba ya kwanza ambayo ilikuwa 1990.
34 years later, in what appears to be the third liberation, and under a new constitution, young Kenyans stormed streets in peaceful demonstrations against poor governance. Gen Z's grievances include a poor economy, corruption, impunity, alleged ineptitude in the state and public appointments, suspiciously lavish lifestyles of public servants, waste in government, unemployment and high cost of living. The Gen Z protests, which resulted in the death of 39 Kenyans, 361 injured, a total of 627 arrests and 32 abductions, have since led to the suspension of a Finance Bill 2024, dissolution of 47 state corporations, deduction of government advisors by 50%, and budget cuts of up to 177 billion shillings, among other changes. Now, Saba-Saba marked the awakening of Kenya's political consciousness. The bravery displayed by common Wananchi in the wake of state-sponsored violence demonstrated an unyielding desire for change. Mike Kagwango, TV 47.